Hello, world. Welcome to another episode of Weird Crime with Weird People. I'm CJ.
And I am Esmeralda Fitzmonster.
Welcome, Esmeralda.
I do what I can.
So fancy. You're so fancy tonight.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like it.
Exactly.
So I know when we ended last week,
you were trying to give me a cuspy kind of situation.
A little bit more crimey.
Yeah, crimey.
And not as weird.
Right.
That's the biggest thing, is it wasn't as weird.
Sure.
We are going to punt that case until next week.
Okay.
Because I'm not super happy with the research. I just need to do some more work on it.
Okay.
We're punting it. So instead, we're going to do the case that you recommended.
Okay. I will say that I literally still know nothing about it. I just pretty much read a little excerpt and was like, yeah, this sounds weird and kind of cringy. So
What do you remember of your excerpt?
I remember that a man makes his bulldozer into a tank and he's pissed about some zoning stuff, I think.
Yep.
And that he drives it into multiple buildings.
Yep, nailed it.
Yeah, that's all I know. I don't know any of the details at all.
Yes, that is what we're talking about tonight. We're talking about Marvin Heemeyer and his Killdozer.
Marv.
Yep, Marv.
All right.
Marvin was born in 1951. At some point in his life, he joins the Air Force, and that gets him to Colorado.
So did this happen in Colorado?
This happened in Colorado.
Oh, right.
He moves to Colorado with the Air Force. When he gets out of the Air Force, he stays in Colorado.
Any particular part?
He starts in a place called Grand Lake.
Okay.
This takes place in a place called Granby.
Okay. I don't know a lot about Colorado. I was just curious.
I know very little about Colorado. I have been there, but I was a small child.
I lived there as a small child.
You did?
I did, yeah. But I've only been to like the big name places, Fort Collins, Denver, Boulder.
I would have to ask my mom to know where I even went.
Yeah.
Marvin never married or had kids.
Okay.
He would later say that he believed that he never married or had kids because God made that happen so that he would be available to do the rampage that he does.
Sure. Right.
Marvin was described by people who knew him as regular and down to earth and average.
Okay.
By his friends. But after the incident, people did speak out, and there's an article in the Granby Telegraph that refers to him as, quote, the volcano known as Marvin Heemeyer.
Oh, my. What year did this happen?
2002. 2002.
All right. So Colorado in 2002. What did Marvin do for a living?
I'm glad you asked.
I was curious. He has a bulldozer.
He does. How he comes to get the bulldozer is odd in itself.
Okay.
Before we get into what Marvin does for a living, there's two more things that you should know about Marvin.
Okay.
He was, spoiler alert.
Oh, okay.
Marvin was a very avid proponent of legalizing gambling.
So I take it maybe he was a gambler.
I don't know. He was definitely avid of it being legal, but I didn't find anywhere that it described him as a big-time gambler.
So maybe he was interested in the funds that come into the state or the city or whatever.
No idea. No idea.
He's clearly into the planning and the zoning and so I'm guessing the taxes and all that too, probably.
He's not so much into it as he is anti the zoning.
Right. Sure. That's what I mean.
I do not know what motivated this.
Okay.
But he is a big proponent of it, so much so that when the city of Grand Lake, where he lives before Granby, has the opportunity to have a casino in the area, he starts his own newspaper coverage because he wasn't happy with how the regular newspaper was covering this opportunity.
So he created his own newspaper.
That is correct. It ran for 2 whole issues.
Okay. All right.
The state voters and the city of Grand Lake all were against this casino coming to the area. It ultimately did not come to the area.
Okay.
Marvin was very unhappy with this outcome.
All right. And he promptly voted with his feet and moved to Granby.
The other thing you should know about Marvin, he's a doomsday prepper.
Ooh, so many things.
Yeah. So kind of painting a picture of Marvin a little bit so far.
Yeah. I'm just based on this a little surprised that his neighbors before the incident called him just a regular guy.
I think they were trying to be polite. They,
Okay.
they called him average. And no one was like, he lit up a room.
Sure. He'd have given me the shirt off his back.
Yeah. They were
None
like,
of
he was a
that.
guy.
He was the neighbor.
Yeah. He was around.
Okay.
In 1992, in Granby, Marvin purchased a property that eventually would be where his muffler shop business was.
Okay.
The property was previously owned by the Dochev family.
All right.
They're important.
Okay.
He bought the property for $42,000, $1992,
Sure.
from the Resolution Trust Corps, which was a federal agency set up to handle the assets of failed savings and loan institutions.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So he is a mechanic of sorts.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Initially, he buys the property with the intention that a friend of his is going to lease it and put their business on it.
Mm-hmm.
But before that can happen, we run into the zoning issues.
All right.
As I said, the property was previously owned by the Dochev family. I hope I'm saying that right. Docheff, Dochev. That's my best guess.
I'm terrible at this language.
Yes, you are.
Yeah. So
that family is in the cement business.
Ooh.
So when Marvin gets this property, he discovers that the sewage tank, for lack of a better term, that is being used on this property is actually a buried cement mixer.
Like a septic tank?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mhm.
This seems bad.
And the cost to update it to a real sewer system and hook into the city's sewer line would be almost double the $42,000 that he paid for the property itself.
Oh, no. Marvin is going to be pissed.
He is very mad.
Yeah,
The city was like, a septic tank is a less expensive option, but he was still like, I'm super, super mad about this. He wanted the government to pay for the sewage line hookup. They refused, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
And he called their unwillingness to pay for the hookup, quote, extortion by government fiat.
Okay. All right.
He was pretty mad.
Yeah.
He was pretty mad. After all this, his friend decides not to have their business there.
Yeah.
And he eventually opens his muffler shop business. In 1997, so this is 5 years after he bought the property.
Have we done anything, do we know, with this?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely.
With the cement mixer?
Absolutely not. The Dochev family bought the neighboring property
Oh, boy.
to Marvin to establish their concrete business on.
I feel like there's going to be a neighbor war.
Yes, Marvin was immediately unhappy because the new property lines meant that he had to drive through the Dochev's property now to get to his own. And he was not happy about it.
Yeah.
The Dochev family tried to buy this property from Marvin. He was an asshole about it.
To buy the property that has the cement mixer septic tank?
Yes.
Yeah, let that property go, my man.
Yeah, he did not want to. So he initially agrees to sell the property to them for $250,000.
That's a high markup.
He then increases his price to $375,000.
Okay.
The Dochefs managed to collect $350,000 and went to him like, we have $350,000. We'll buy the property.
Oh my God, Marvin.
He then ups his asking price again to $450,000.
All right,
which
you're just making this hard for yourself now.
Yes, in $2,025, that's $900,000.
Okay.
Later, in an interview with Sky High News, Susan Dochev is quoted as saying, he probably set you up just to say no, just so he could get mad at you.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Marvin then launches a public campaign against the building of the Dochef's concrete plant. He was initially successful because he galvanized the community using the environmental concerns of the plant.
Is it being put on the property next door to his by any chance?
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Yes. They bought the property next door specifically to put this concrete plant on it.
Oh, Marvin, sell the property.
And then they try to buy it from him because he's already mad about the septic tank thing. He's mad that now he has to cross their property to get to his. So like, we will buy this from you for way more.
Yeah.
Than you paid 5 years ago. Keep in mind, 5 years ago, we paid $42,000 for this property.
Yeah.
And they're like, we'll give you $350,000.
Oh, God,
and Marvin
money
was
and run.
like, no.
Oh, he is cutting off his nose to spite his face.
Yes,
Marvin.
you just described Marvin completely. So he sets up this campaign. He gets some backing because of the environmental concerns. The Dochifs then agreed to install additional measures to account for the dust and the noise that the concrete factory would produce.
They are so negotiable.
I know the Dochifs are just out here trying their damn best.
I mean, they're really, going to bat for Marvin. He's not helping himself.
He's not helping himself. And they're just like, listen, what do we have to do to work with you here, man?
Yeah.
It's fine. We'll do it.
Yeah.
And he was like, absolutely nothing is going to satisfy me, not one thing.
Ugh.
Eventually, opposition to the project did dwindle down.
Okay.
Because the Dochifs addressed everything.
Yeah, yeah. And the only neighbor they have to worry about is Marvin.
Is Marvin, yeah. In November of 2000, Marvin filed a lawsuit to try to block the construction of
that
the
sounds
concrete
right.
plant.
Mm-hmm.
It did not go anywhere. So he files these lawsuits.
Mm-hmm.
The town is already like, we're going to move ahead with this, even with the lawsuit out there. So they approve the construction of the plant.
Oh my God, he's so pissed.
In June of 2001, Joe Dochif calls him and is like, listen, if you'll drop the lawsuit, we will give you an easement to connect the sewer line to the new concrete plant free of charge.
Okay.
Marvin hung up the phone.
Oh, I mean, honestly, his best bet was to take the money and run, sell that place and get out from under it. This is crazy.
I have my opinions on Marvin, which I'm going to just swallow for a second.
I'm just like, damn, Marvin, you are just, get out, man. Get out.
But he's not trapped there. He's creating all of this himself.
I know. I'm just saying, like, God, you're making it so hard.
Yeah. Pull yourself together, dude.
Yeah.
In June of 2001, when Joe calls and offers him this way to hook up his sewer line, and he hangs up on him.
Yeah.
At the same time, the buried concrete mixer truck that is his sewage is full. It fills up. It's full. So what he does is he pumps his sewage with a gasoline pump into the irrigation ditch that runs behind his property.
That is also a terrible idea. This man is full of terrible ideas.
Absolutely terrible ideas. He then attempts to illegally connect to his neighbor's sewer line.
Oh, God.
And is caught by the sanitation district.
In the meantime, where does the do we know? Is he like putting sewage into people's like farm fields?
Yeah, he pumps it right into the ditch.
Oh my God.
But at the same time, he is caught. They find him $2,500 and tell him, you have to get this fixed. You have to get a sewer hookup or you have to get a septic tank.
Yeah.
You have to.
I can't believe we've gone this long.
I agree.
I'm going to have to look up where this area is because this seems crazy.
Yeah, I didn't actually look.
Like maybe it's kind of rural and it's a little bit more laxed versus something that's like a suburb.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
interesting. I didn't consult a map.
Yeah.
You always ask questions that never occur to me.
Well, I get curious about weird stuff.
I know.
Because I'm the weird people.
I'm trying in my research to like think of things you might ask and try to like cover those bases.
Well, I mean, you're doing pretty good because you like right off the bat, I had like 5 questions and you got them all.
I didn't get them all. I have no idea why he was so into gambling.
Well, that's just that one.
Anyway, I'm going to continue
my about him as a person.
My efforts will continue. So that's all in June of 2001.
Yep.
By early 2002, he has realized that none of these litigations are going to end in his favor.
Yeah.
The town is not going to stop with this whole septic tank situation.
Right.
For reasons that I am unsure of, he goes to California to an auction in early 2002 and purchases a Komatsu D355A bulldozer.
I have no idea what that is, but it sounds big.
It's big and slow. It tops out at 8 miles an hour.
At 8?
At 8 miles an hour.
Okay.
That is its top speed.
Oof.
He brings that back to Granby. I saw in one place that he bought it with the intention to clear more of the land. But like I said, I only found that in one place. I'm not sure why he bought this bulldozer. Regardless, he does.
Yeah.
By October, he has closed the muffler repair business and sold all of the assets, but the bulldozer doesn't sell. He does intend to sell it. So he did not buy it from that auction with the intention of what he ultimately does at that time. He does try to sell it. When it doesn't sell, he considers it a sign from God that he needs to use this bulldozer to exact his vengeance on the town of Granby.
Okay. All right. So he just stopped working, essentially, sold his business and all of the things that he owned.
Yes, but are you about to ask like how he's paying for things?
Well, yeah, I'm curious, like,
He sells the property that this
okay.
business is on for $400,000.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
All right.
And then he leases back a part of it with a building on it for himself.
Okay. All right.
And that is where the bulldozer is. It's inside that building.
Yeah.
So he's able to sustain himself on $400,000 in $2,003. So
Okay.
even more now.
Yeah. Yeah. What? Okay. Cool.
He leases back this area to, quote, finish some work.
Mm.
And that work is building the Killdozer.
Oof.
Fun fact for you.
Okay.
Side note completely.
Oh, okay.
Within a day of the new owners closing on the property, they had the water and sewer connections up.
It seems like it would take longer than that to get the cement mixer out of the ground.
They didn't necessarily have to get the cement mixer out of the ground. They had to hook into the city's line. The cement mixer is completely
It can
separate.
still just sit there full of sewer.
I have no idea what happened with the cement mixer. It didn't feel pertinent at the time, but next time I'm going to look.
I'm just curious. Like, holy smokes, it seems like that's a freaking environmental hazard.
Could you imagine buying a property and there is a underground cement mixer full of shit in it
No.
that I now have to deal with?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely
not.
But they did hook into the city water and sewer immediately. And the issue that had plagued Marvin for a decade was resolved immediately.
Yeah. Oy vey.
So just in case anyone was having any sympathy for Marvin, don't.
Okay. Like, this took a day.
It took a day. This was 100% Marvin created this situation.
And questionable what the environmental situation on this property is, though. But sure.
Not be
sure.
good.
It
Can't be good. Over the next year and a half, inside his workspace,
Oh, boy.
Marvin added steel plates to the bulldozer, impact-resistant plexiglass, a ventilation system, cameras, because he puts himself in this hatch and he can't see out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So he has cameras mounted at various points outside of the bulldozer.
Mm-hmm.
And he has the cameras also protected by the plexiglass. And he has compressed air pumped in to where the cameras are so that he can blow off any debris that might get on the cameras.
So he is in a completely enclosed thing. Like, he can't see out of it.
Yes, that's correct.
So he has these cameras so he can see out of it.
Yes, that's correct.
And he can blow the debris off the cameras as well as they're impenetrable because he's got the plexiglass on.
You have nailed it.
Good gravy. All right. Okay.
We're not even done with what he does to this thing.
Okay.
He also mounts rifles to the front, the rear, and the right of the bulldozer.
Okay.
And he created small little firing ports from inside the driver's area, which in my head I call the cockpit because that's
that's where we're headed.
Now. So he can shoot out of them.
Who shoots the rifles on the mounted outside?
He has the ability to shoot them from inside.
Really?
Yes. And he packs enough food and water inside the Killdozer to last for a week.
Yes, because he's a doomsday dude.
Exactly. Over this 18 months, Marv is not hiding what he's doing. He tells his friends that he is building this bulldozer and what his intentions are for it.
Oh, boy.
And nobody takes him seriously.
I mean, I don't really know how you don't when he's physically building it right in front of you.
I agree. He said later, via tape, he records himself. He's one of those guys who just fucking has a lot to say. So he just records like 3 hours worth of tape
sound of his voice.
Before all this happened. He was surprised that he was not caught. I mean, he was not really trying to hide this. Also, he had stopped going to his home at some point along the way and was just living out of this shack.
Yeah.
And once again, pumping his sewer into the irrigation ditch.
Oh my God, with this guy.
I told you you would not like Marvin. Marvin sucks.
Yeah.
On June 4th, 2004, Marvin starts his rampage. With it leaded down with all this armor, the bulldozer now goes a whopping 5 miles an hour.
Holy
tops.
crap.
He leaves his little shack and he goes immediately to the Docheff's concrete works next door.
Okay.
The workers there attempt to jam the treads, like throwing things in the treads. It doesn't work. Cody Docheff tries to stop Marvin destroying his buildings.
Yeah.
By getting in a front end loader and, trying to basically robot fight.
Sure. Sure.
large machine fight.
Yeah.
The front end loader stands no chance.
Well, I'm not surprised by this.
So Cody bails.
Yeah.
And runs. And then Marv fires rounds at him from the mounted guns.
Oh, my God.
And law enforcement starts showing up, and he fires at them too.
Oh, no. Well, things have gone off the rails now. I mean, they were off the rails before, but they've really gone off the rails now.
Yeah, before it was like, we are teetering on the rails here. Like, okay, you're building this thing. Doesn't look great.
Yeah.
Like, we all have some concerns here, but now we have really lost it.
Yeah.
After destroying the concrete plant, he heads to town.
So he doesn't have like a battering ram or anything, right? He's just driving the dozer itself.
Yes.
Right into the buildings.
That is correct.
Okay.
He gets into town. He attacks the Sky High newspaper office.
Of course he does.
All those years ago, had written in opposition to the casino.
Yeah.
So he was like, F you, I'm starting with you.
Well, isn't that when he, he wrote that, isn't that when he had his newspaper?
That's correct.
That's what I thought.
So Marv can also hold a grudge.
Clearly.
He hits the police station.
Yeah, absolutely. That completely makes sense.
He hits the home of a former mayor who's now dead, whose elderly widow still lived in the house.
That seems a little out of... He should have went straight for the public works.
He goes to the town hall.
Yeah, all right.
The town hall has the library attached to it.
Oh.
And there are children having reading hour in the library.
Of course there are. Leave the library alone.
As this is unfolding, before he manages to make it all the way to town, because remember, we're moving very, very slow.
Yeah. I was going to say, like, the Dochefs had to be like...
Yeah, well, law enforcement are already out there. Yeah. The sheriff's office issues a reverse 911 to everybody in the town and is like, evacuate, get out. So as the bulldozer is coming, these buildings are being evacuated. So there are people in these buildings as this is happening, but they get word enough to get them out.
Okay.
So he hits the town hall.
Minus the cement place, who didn't have any warning.
They had no warning.
Yeah.
But no one was hurt there. He just shot at them, but he didn't actually hurt anyone.
Yeah. All right. I keep forgetting about the guns.
Yeah, lots of guns. So he hits the newspaper, the police station, the former mayor's house, the town hall, which also has the library attached to it.
And he's doing like major damage to these
just
buildings.
Plowing through these buildings.
Okay.
He hits the Liberty Savings Bank because there is a lady who works there who also opposed things that he believed in.
Oh, God. Well, that's the whole damn town.
It is the whole town. He ends at the Gamble's store, which is like a hardware store.
Okay.
The owners of that supported the Dochef's concrete plant going in.
Of course.
Before he gets to the Gamble store, where this story will eventually come to an end, he also fired from his turrets, his mounted guns.
Yeah.
At transformers and propane tanks.
Oh, my God.
Mercifully, none of them actually blew up, because that would have been even worse.
Marv has lost his shit.
Absolutely lost his shit. Of the 13 buildings he bulldozed, 11 of them were occupied the moments before they were bulldozed.
Yeah. Thank God it moved so slow.
Thank God. And, it actually moved so slow that at one point, the officers, because they couldn't stop it, were just jogging alongside of it.
Yeah.
And the undersheriff, Glenn Trainer, at one point climbs on top of the bulldozer, fired with his service weapon at close range, which did nothing, and then stuffed a stun grenade down the exhaust pipe. It also had no effect.
Wow.
They tried plastic explosives. They tried flashbangs. Nothing stopped him. What stopped him was some unfortunate luck on his part.
Uh-oh. Because, damn, this thing was hardcore.
It was hardcore, and he was prepared.
Yeah. Well, he's a doomsayer.
Yeah. When he goes into Gamble's, the town has another large piece of machinery. It was called a scraper.
Okay.
I looked up a picture of it. It's just very long and heavy. I didn't understand what it does. I know very little about machinery. It scrapes the earth. That's what I can tell you.
Okay.
But they get it here. And the scraper pulls in behind Marv.
Okay.
So Marv cannot back out now of the hardware store. But what he didn't know is that the hardware store has a basement. So when he pulled in and then couldn't back out, before he could get all the way through, the weight of the Killdozer collapsed the floor and he half fell into the basement.
Damn.
When he realized he could not get out, he shot himself.
Yeah. Okay.
Officers nearby at the time did hear the shot, but it took hours to get in to Marvin.
Yeah. So when they got in, was there any evidence of the things they tried to like get into his ventilation system or like the stun grenades or anything like that? Like anything that said like anything actually got in there?
Not to my knowledge.
They didn't say anything.
They didn't say anything
Yeah, okay.
about it. They first tried to use explosives to basically blow the hatch so they could get in. That didn't work. So they ended up getting oxyacetylene torches.
Oh my God.
And it took hours for them to cut in and get to him. He caused $7 million worth of damage to the town. $2 million of that was specifically to the concrete plant, which was unfortunately underinsured, and the payout was only $700,000.
Oh my God. Well, Marv got his revenge for that for sure, even though those people really tried to help him.
They literally didn't do anything to them.
Yeah.
Not a thing.
Yeah.
He got his revenge on absolutely nothing at all.
Well, his anger for the it all stems from the cement mixer septic tank.
It does. That and oddly the gambling casino not coming into town.
Yeah.
Boy, he held that grudge hard.
This is why I wonder if he was a gambler.
I don't know.
Or just really into the revenues that might have come from it.
I didn't go down the rabbit hole of why he was so supportive of it.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't think they did anything. They only seem to try to want to help him out of this.
Agreed. Or at the very least, get him away from them, which would indirectly kind of help him out. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Very directly help him out. Yeah. I mean.
And like the thing is, you sold it for $400,000. Well, they were going to give you $350,000 years ago.
Yeah.
And none of this would have been your problem.
Yeah.
After all this, they go to his home and they find plans that he had made for how to build the Killdozer, which is what is later referred to. He did not refer to it as that. He referred to it as like Marv's Komatsu and things like that.
Sure.
They also found a handwritten list of 107 people who he thought wronged him.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm surprised it wasn't like the freaking white pages for the town.
I agree with you.
Because
for both of those two towns.
Yeah, because everybody pretty much was against what he wanted.
They also found a list of complaints that he had written down that ranged from the dough chiefs being unwilling to pay the continually rising prices he was asking for that piece of property.
Yeah, sure.
To the sanitation office and everything they did, to the town even allowing the dough chiefs concrete plant to happen. He just was mad about everything.
Yeah.
He also, like I said, recorded audio tapes that he then sent to his brother. So that's how we have a lot of information on what motivated him and how he did all of this.
Yeah.
Because he just talked a lot. He viewed himself as an American patriot.
Don't they always?
He was quoted in his recording as saying, "God built me for this job." Like I said at the beginning, he believed it was God's plan that he had no family because it put him in a position to be able to do this rampage.
I just really think he missed his calling because he built this thing so well. Like he should have been in some kind of car manufacturing or military manufacturing.
Yeah, bud. Why don't you go be an engineer of some type
for
or something?
Jeep or something.
Yeah. What are you doing?
Yeah, this is, I mean.
He just was full of anger. He was just
clearly.
angry about, in his mind, angry about things that people did to him, but absolutely angry about the stuff he did to himself. He did all of this to himself.
Yeah.
But in his mind, all of these people wronged him.
Yeah.
And the only thing he could apparently think to do was destroy the town.
Yeah.
He was quoted as saying, "I think God will bless me to get this machine done, to drive it, and to do the stuff I have to do. God blessed me in advance for the task that I'm about to undertake. It is my duty. God has asked me to do this. It's a cross that I'm going to carry, and I'm carrying it in God's name."
Yeah, I feel like he was a kinder fella.
So he was full on American patriot, ultra religious.
Yeah, that guy.
I don't want to keep going down this road I can't do it without getting very offensive, but that's who he was.
Yeah.
There are, as there always are, people who support him and say that he was a patriot fighting against corrupt government and that he clearly was not out to harm anybody because he didn't harm anybody. And
by luck. And the fact that the dozer was slow as shit.
Exactly. That's what people who come back on the other side were like, no. Almost all of those buildings were occupied with people.
Guns.
And exactly.
You can't argue that. The guns.
He had mounted guns. He had holes for handguns that he could shoot out of himself. That was not his intent at all.
Yeah.
His intent was to harm.
Yeah.
And those people view him as a domestic terrorist.
Yeah.
So that's the story of Marvin.
Good gravy.
Marvin's not a likable fella.
He's not a likable fella. I mean, this is insane. This is crazy.
Yeah, it is a very unique crime. I will say that.
Yeah. Well, the little bit I read was like I said, I didn't dig into the details at all. I was going to let you do that. But I was like, I mean, prior to the way things work now with the current administration, I still have always been interested in these people that get really wild about zoning or not zoning, or like just generally these things that come up in cities. Like people get it really under their skin. So like,
I mean, do you remember what happened when our neighbor put a shed up on our fence, like on our fence line, and it blocked your view? And you remember how upset that got you?
Yeah. And
you were like, excuse me, zoning people, he's supposed to be 5 foot away from the fence.
Oh no. And you could only have like, like 10% of your property that has,
outbuildings on it.
Yeah.
And he had way more than that.
Oh, the whole damn yard was filled with buildings.
Yeah.
I don't even know how they walked over there. It was so crowded.
I know. This is like an area of society that just really is of interest to you and really can.
Yeah. No, I find it very interesting. So when I saw it, I was like, this seems like a good, weird in that he built this thing. Like he was just so consumed with building this thing.
For a year and a half.
I mean, the rampage is, par for the course with humans these days, or those days even. But the fact that he like put so much effort into this and it was so impenetrable.
He just stewed for a decade. I cannot imagine being that angry.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I stewed about that shed. And every time I saw it, I was like, oh,
I know there was a period of time where I was nervous.
Yeah.
Because you were so mad about the shed.
Yeah. Oh, but I stewed quietly.
Unless you were the person living with you.
Unless anyone in any way was there when I saw it or mentioned it to me.
Right. Yeah. But you eventually.
I mean, I stewed. I stewed. I didn't move past it. I just it got less. It consumed me less.
Right.
But I'm not going to do anything.
Right. Yeah. What has to happen in your mind to take it from.
And honestly, if that guy would have said, I'll pay you for your property because I put this horrible shed here that completely blocks the whole back of your house and any visibility from it whatsoever, I would have been like, yeah, I'll take it.
Absolutely.
Hasta luego, my friend.
Yeah. To me, you've devalued this house. You've taken something that is very important to me from it, which is the view of the water. So if you would like to pay me for my suffering and I can go get another house, that would be great.
Slap hands.
Exactly.
See ya, my man.
Exactly.
Yeah, dude.
That's what I mean about him and that's what Susan was saying. Like he just did this to get you to say no so he could be mad at you.
Yeah, I agree.
What he wanted in life was to be mad.
Yeah.
I don't understand living that way personally.
Me neither, but I feel like there are a lot of people who live like that.
I know. They call in the 911 center all the time. And it's like, brother, is this really how you want to live?
Which is why I think like the internet gets all the trolls and the whatever, because now these people have a good way to get this stuff out.
Yeah.
And not have to show their face about it.
Right. At this time, Marvin, he didn't really have that.
No.
This was very early 2000s. He was a man on an island.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, he could be a star in the MAGA movement.
Yeah.
He's got that personality these days.
Or the doomsday preppers.
Shit,
they're probably like, slap hands with this dude because he could live in this thing for a week and no one can get in it.
Yeah. You think of the things he could build for us.
Yeah.
So if he had that
He'd
ability to reach out,
celebrity.
Yeah, this may not have happened because he could have found this outlet. He could have still held on to this anger that he clearly wanted, but he could have found an outlet for it that wasn't destroying the town.
Yeah.
Now, flip side of that same coin, his outlet may have been to do a lot more damage and hurt people. Bigger. So you never really know.
Yeah.
I guess with a mind like this, let's be glad that what happened was he destroyed
some buildings.
Yeah.
No, I feel like particularly the Dochefs got lucky.
I think so too.
They had no warning. And with the guns, like they were
Yeah.
like a prime target for him.
And they were actively being shot at.
Yeah.
So they were, Cody especially, very lucky he was able to get away from that because he was right there trying to fight him and then run away. So he was very fortunate to not be injured.
Yeah. So ding dong, Marvin.
And just a note, if you want to get a lot more information about this, if this case is really interesting to you, there's a guy, Patrick Brower, who was a journalist in this area at the time and wrote a lot about this. He ended up writing a book called Killdozer, The True Story of the Colorado Bulldozer Rampage.
Damn.
Yeah, so you can get a lot of really good, really in-depth information about this case. You actually might like it because it's going to go way more into the zoning.
I'm mildly interested in this.
Yeah.
I really am.
Yeah, it's going to talk a lot more about the zoning issues. It may give you some insight into his background in the game, like just the stuff I wasn't able to find.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have the...
Well, you're not reading the book.
I didn't have the ability to read the whole
We're doing
book.
a short little summary on
exactly.
weird stuff.
So if you want to dive deeper, I would absolutely recommend that book.
Yeah, no, that sounds super interesting to me.
So that's Marv.
Ding dong, Marv.
Yeah.
Oof.
I told you, you would not like him.
Crazy ass mofo. Shoot.
And also a totally normal human being in this day and age.
Yeah, I know. Horrifying.
So as I stated in the beginning, next week we are going to come back to the Dalkin Shield IUD case.
Yeah. Okay.
So you have a cuspy case to look forward to next week.
Ugh, all crime, no weird.
And we did talk offline that occasionally we will be throwing in these less weird, more crimey cases.
Yeah.
Just because it's good to mix it up sometimes.
Sure. We got to appeal to all the listeners.
That's right. And on that note, we'll talk to you next time.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.